For the last 25 years, ever since the early days of the AIDS, HIV epidemic, the Alabama Department of Corrections has had a policy of categorically segregating all prisoners who test positive for HIV. And what this means is that prisoners with HIV have served their sentences under far, far harsher conditions. In the late 1980s, Alabama prisoners with HIV began flooding the ACLU with letters begging for help. On my first day at the ACLU, I was handed this case, and it's a case that ended up taking 3 trials and something like 5 or 6 trips to the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals before we finally won. All this was over a 20-year period. We had to overcome a res judicata bar in this case. We did it by proving that there had been a material change in fact. The previous decision, a linchpin of it ultimately had been that HIV is invariably fatal. That simply isn't true anymore, and that changes the whole equation. The prisoners themselves testified how utterly degrading and humiliating it is to be subjected to HIV segregation, and they convinced the judge that there's no such thing as separate but equal. There are a lot of echoes in this struggle against HIV discrimination with other previous civil rights struggles in Alabama and in the Deep South. And the prisoners themselves were keenly aware of it. They kept insisting that the ACLU go forward with it, no matter how many times that we were defeated. The feeling of joy and pride to have finally achieved this victory, I think, is going to live with them forever. And it is certainly going to change the lives of untold numbers of prisoners with HIV who enter the system now and in the future.